Hey guys, hi. Today we're going to talk about navigating business challenges and 3 signs it's time for a coach. So let me know by putting a hashtag live in the comments if you're watching this live. If you're watching the replay, please put hashtag replay and I will be sure to come in and say hello if you put in that replay. I'd love to hear from you, and so let's get started. All right, so I was thinking a lot about this because there's a lot of people that put out courses, and and there's a lot of free stuff out there. And I was just thinking about all the people, and I remember one time, sorry, I'm getting distracted, but I remember one time I was talking with a girl years ago now, and she said, I think the free stuff just isn't working for me anymore. I think it's time for me to hire a coach. And so I was thinking about that because it's true. There's a point where the free stuff, the little courses, that kind of thing, they don't work, right? Or they don't help you. And there's a lot of reasons for that. So I don't really want to get into all of those reasons today, but I think I'm going to touch on them here in this little talk here. So one of the things that you might be experiencing is like feeling you get stuck, you have an obstacle, like let's say you're taking a course, right? And you know that if you just follow the course, it'll probably work, right? But you have a hard time actually implementing, right? Every time you try, you hit an obstacle, you get stuck, you are trying to do it in a silo, right? So you're all by yourself. It makes it really difficult sometimes to get past that stuck point. And you might be feeling overwhelmed too, right? Like you started doing the course and you're getting all these great ideas and everything's like storming at you, and now you're having a hard time, unburying yourself from all these ideas and all these things you want to implement, and making it difficult to implement. And I've said before that, the key to having a successful business is being able to implement your ideas and turn them into something that can make money for you, right? Because, the bottom line is if you can't implement and you can't manage the work in your business, then you're ultimately going to fail because you can only go so long flying by the seat of your pants, and eventually you're going to start hitting a wall, right? You're going to start having too many problems, chaos, and disjointed feeling of detachment from your work. All kinds of problems start surfacing when you don't have a good system for managing all the work and the operations of your business, right? And so that's really what I teach is, I'm slowly evolving, I guess, to more of a title of business operations coach, right? The operations management of your business, and how to do that. And then, how to implement strategies and things like that into your operations of your business. And so if you find yourself like you're hitting roadblocks, you're constantly overwhelmed, you're struggling to make decisions, you have this constant state of like anxiety and stress over what to do and how to do it, then it might be time for a coach, right? The other is lack of clarity and direction. If you start having like you have a hard time knowing exactly where you're going. Like maybe you've taken the little, free things where people are like, who is your who and why is your why? And you get through that process and you're still like, yeah, it just doesn't still hit with me. It's still not right. I still don't feel connected to that. That's that lack of clarity, right? And sometimes you don't see that clear roadmap because you're stumbling on one big thing of like, working through who is your who, why is your why. And having a coach can help you work through that process, particularly if you have the right kind of coach, right? Because sometimes coaches help with that and sometimes they don't. So you really have to look at, how much access you're going to have to coaches and how much access outside of meetings you might have with a coach, because sometimes, it's really hard to get through the materials in a group setting without having a little bit of a touch point with your actual coach who's going to know things about your business, understand your business, and help guide you through the process of making those decisions, right? and then giving you that direction, right? To step 1, step 2, step 3. People pay for packaging, right? That's why coaches exist in the first place, because we're packaging things together. We're fast tracking people. We're helping them through so that they don't have so many different conflicting things coming their way that they end up confused. And so that's the other piece too, is if you're jumping from one course to another, one creator to another, one coach to another, you might be feeling that conflict, right? They all have different strategies. They all have different ways of doing things. And now you're feeling conflicted. And so it's giving you that lack of direction, making you struggle, right? And then if you're having limited growth, if you're having a hard time getting your business off the ground, if you're having a hard time even launching your business, right? Getting it to a place where you can actually say, okay, I'm ready for clients. Or if you're just having a hard time like growing it in terms of, growing revenue streams and creating systems in place, that help you with not only the operations, but also with product development and offer development. So those are some of the reasons why you might be needing a coach. And so I want to just go through a little bit on what's the benefit of hiring a coach and what it can do for you. So most businesses that are successful, they hire a coach, right? I mean, athletes hire a coach. Athletes will hire their own personal coach on top of having a coach, just so that they can excel at their particular thing that they do, right? And so the same thing applies to a business. You have to have a coach. You don't have to have a coach, but it's really, really helpful to have a coach, because it does help give you that perspective, right? A coach can help give you a really good, fresh perspective on things. So you're not working in a silo, gives you sort of somebody to brainstorm with and, bounce ideas off the wall and talk you off the ledge when you need talking off the ledge. There's all kinds of reasons why a coach is so beneficial, right? And so finding a coach that gives you access to them, even if it's just texting access, is huge. That's huge, because a lot of times you might sign up for a coaching program and you have absolutely no access to that particular coach outside of a group meeting. And that can be a challenge, right? That can be a real challenge, because you need that person who's going to really know your business and understand what it is you do, and be able to dive into the detail with you. Because the big picture, let's face it, the big picture of, okay, I'm going to start a coaching business, or I'm going to start a service-based business, or whatever, that big picture is kind of, obvious. It's not really obvious, but it's it's out there. It's out there everywhere. You can get that high level. It's the devil that's in the details, right? The details are where it's at. What details do you need to put in place? What's important? What isn't important? What should you focus on? What should you put off till later? And so that kind of accountability and that kind of guidance is really critical when it comes time to hiring a coach. And that's the difference between just going through a course as opposed to working with a coach, right? And so even if you had a coach that you wanted to work with that only provides like Voxer or messaging coaching and no meetings at all, that might even be worthwhile to you. Especially these days, we can post a video via text. We can post audio. We can type. We can do anything, right? So don't discount that if you're looking for a coach. I personally meet with my clients once a week, and I also provide texting, and actually through WhatsApp, I provide all that support through there as well, so they can bounce ideas off me if they're like, if they need to be talked off the ledge, if they're going nuts for whatever reason, I'm there to help them through that process and through the getting through those obstacles and stuff. So the other pieces too is, you get that personal growth, right? When you work with somebody who really is investing their time and energy into helping you succeed, rather than just seeing a course where, you might be watching their videos and all that stuff, but you're not getting that human connection. That human connection is really critical when you're working with a coach, especially when you're working on a business that's like a coaching business, especially as a solopreneur, it's such a deeply personal thing. You might be, thinking like, maybe you're working on a second career, right? You're thinking, geez, I'm not really enjoying what I do anymore. I've been doing this for 20 years or whatever, and I really want to do something different. I have all these skills, all this experience, and I think that I could, do some sort of a coaching program to help pay it forward to other people so I can pay my experience forward. Um, I don't know if you know, but my corporation name is Ghostlight Enterprises, and the reason why is because a ghost light is the light that they put on a stage after a show is over, right after, like on Broadway or whatever play, and they put this light on the stage after the curtain closes so that everybody can see and the actors can see around the theater and the people can see as they're moving out and stuff. And the orchestra can see to get out of the place, but they can keep the lights dimmed. And so I just thought that was such a cool concept because it's kind of like that guiding light after the curtain closes, right? And I always thought that that's what I wanted my business to be, is something that I could pay it forward and pass on the knowledge, the experience, the skills, the education, everything I've worked for, and not have it just retire with me when I retire. I want it to live on, and I want to help other people to be able to take what I know and take it that much further, right? Further along that I won't be able to because I'm going to run out of time, right? And so you might be thinking that too. And it's like, leave a legacy, right? That's what we all say, is leave a legacy. But that's the way I see it, is I want to leave that guiding light out there for people who have struggled with this type of stuff, and who struggle to manage the work of their business, who struggle with getting overwhelmed, maybe even have, dyslexia or ADHD or some other type of issue that maybe makes it so they don't learn and do things like normal people do, right? And to embrace that gift, right? To embrace that gift, because it can really be a gift and not a hindrance if we're not forced to fit into a specific mold. And I say we because I feel like I've always been a little bit different. I've actually had a client tell me, you think differently than anybody I know. and I think I do, having a background in IT, having a background in project management. I'm very logically minded. I look at things in terms of formulas and logic, and and in a linear sort of way, right? And so I think that that's I don't know, maybe why I think differently, because I've been trained to do so, right? I've been trained, and I have a degree in math. I worked as a computer programmer for bunch of years, 25 years, and I manage my own projects. I have my certifications in project management and in Scrum. And so I just learned, that whole piece of making sure that you have things documented properly so that we understand the intention of what it is we're trying to do. And that's what, like, a requirements document really is all about, is you're looking at the intention, what it is that they want and why they want it, because what are they trying to achieve, right? So in the Scrum world, we call that user stories, right? You have this, as whatever you are, whatever role you're playing. So say, as an aspiring coach, I need some feature so that I can achieve some goal, right? And that's basically what a requirement is in the form of a user story. And so if you started thinking about that as a coach, as a service professional, whatever role it is that you're going to be in, what do you need in order for you to be successful? And if you say, a coach, but then because of money, you're like, oh, I'm going to go and get this course instead, and I'll get this course instead, and this one. Believe me, I've done that. And what ends up happening is you spend a whole lot of money on courses that you could have just hired a coach and had them fast track you, and you would have been done. Not that you would be done forever. It still takes work. There's a lot of stuff that goes into making sure that your business lives long, right? Because think about it. I don't know, however old you are today, where are you going to be in 10 years, in 20 years? What happens when you're 65? Are you going to be able to retire, or are you going to be still slugging along? Are you going to be hustling for clients to try to keep things because you didn't have a plan? You didn't have a way that you were going to put away money for your retirement. You didn't have a way for your business to become more and more passive for you, so that you could keep doing this and have automations and things, and maybe a staff, or a little team or something like that to help you, so that you don't have to be in every little detail of your business. And that's what I help my clients do, is get their systems set up and repeatable and documented, so that then they're ready to hire, and they know who to hire and what that person needs to do in order to make the business successful. And so that's kind of how I help my people, along with all the strategies and implementing strategies, so that they can have an edge over their competition, and learn how to coexist with competition as well, because we all can coexist. I mean, think about music. All these musicians coexist with each other, right? And yes, it's hard to break in, it's hard to make it, but once they make it, they can coexist with each other, right? And that's kind of what you're doing in this world as well. Because if you think about it, like if you started your business a year ago, or so, you're a year ahead of all the people that are starting today. If you started your business 5 years ago, you're 5 years ahead of all the people that started their business today. And so you're at this level, say, if you're 5 years, where all these other business owners that are 5 years in are. And you're kind of in that group of people, right? That the ones who are the brand new beginners are looking at you saying, okay, I want to be that person. I want to do that. I want to do what they're doing. I want to build my business like that person's business, right? And we're looking, those of us who have been in business for 5 years are looking at the ones who have been in business for 10 years or 20 years, and looking at them and saying, okay, we want to have that longevity. We want to get to that place, right? Get to where they are and have that security that they have. And so that's what I teach, and that's why I think it's really important for you to have a coach, is to make sure that you're not only learning the tactics and the things, but also learning how to set up your business for the long haul. Yes, you're going to have to find clients now and all that stuff, but getting your business set up for the long haul is key, is the key to survival for the long haul, right? Because not very many businesses survive 5 years. Remember, not very many. And so you want to make sure that you're setting your business up so that it's not going to be so fragile that if you walk away for a minute, it's gone, right? You need to be able to set it up so that it can start creating passive income for you at some point, have different revenue streams, so you're not dependent on one revenue stream. And the way I coach my clients, we sort of do it in a kill two birds with one stone type of methodology, so that you're not going through a process 40 different times to create all these different things. You're going through the process once, and building out your business in such a way that's iterative. Iterative meaning that it's you're building small pieces of it, and then you're building upon that. You're building upon that. The iterative development is what Apple did, right? They created an iPhone 1, didn't have the forward-facing camera, didn't have flash photography, and then they put that in later, right? They didn't want to be late on their project, so they went ahead and released it. They sold 1.3 million phones in the first 6 months after the iPhone was released. That's the stuff that you want to be able to do, right? Is you want to be able to put something out there and generate revenue to keep adding back into your project, adding back into that project. Every time you can reinvest into that project, you can build it to the next level and the next level and the next level. And then you could be an iPhone 15 or whatever number it's at now. But you see what I'm saying? So don't let yourself get caught up in, having constant obstacles, trying to just do it with the free stuff. If you really want to do it and you're really serious about it, make that leap and get a coach. Now, There's different types of coaches out there, so you got to be really thinking about what it is you're trying to accomplish. If you're just trying to stand up your business for the very first time, that's one of my programs that I do. It's called Business Foundation Accelerator, and it is designed to get your first paying client in 3 months. So it's about growing, nurturing, and converting your audience into paying clients. And you can actually get your first client in 90 days or less, depending on how far along you are in the process already and what we can leverage. We don't make you start over. It's what we can leverage that you already have to get you across that finish line and get your first paying client. So if you are looking to get your first paying client and you haven't done so yet, or if you have gotten your first paying client and now you're looking to keep improving your business and keep fleshing it out so that it can last, be sure to check in with me. Let's have a chat, because I have two systems. I have the Business Foundation Accelerator and I have the Business Profit Accelerator. So you can start honing and fine tuning your marketing so that you can stand out in the marketplace and be the natural choice for your perfect people out there, and give them an easy way to get into your world and become your clients. Okay. Also, I'm in the Coach and Profit giveaway with the Stephanie Treasure, and she's the host. And so you can get that. I think I have the link here. Let me just get that link for you, and I will put it in the comments. But be sure to join the Coach and Profit giveaway, because there's all kinds of good stuff. And she always, Stephanie's, her giveaways are always fantastic. And there's always a lot of good quality stuff in there that you can utilize. And it can help you with looking for, who it is you might want to work with as a coach. So I invite you to come to the Coach and Profit giveaway. You can get to it at Coach and Profit giveaway. I'm going to throw it here in the banner if I can really quick. There at the coachandprofitgiveaway.com/Cheryl. You can grab my gift that's in there, which is called the Alter Egos of the Solopreneur. And it's all about, the struggles that we have of balancing all the different roles that you play, wearing all the different hats that you're wearing in your business. And that's kind of one of the things that I specialize in, is helping solopreneurs not only get their operations in place so that they can manage their business by themselves, but also help them prepare for that day when they might want to actually outsource, and so that they don't have to do all the work, right? So they don't have to do the things they hate and the things that they aren't good at. And they can just do the stuff that they love, right? Because that's why you started your business. You don't want to be slugging away and boring and you hate the work and you hate it all. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to do the things that you love. And so that's what I do, is help you streamline your marketing efforts and build your business in a grow, nurture, convert framework, so that you can get your clients in an easy way, in a methodical way, in a systematic way, so that it's not like killing you every single minute of the day. All right. Okay. So be sure to say hello in the comments and post any questions that you might have. And if you would like to talk about working with me, be sure to send me a message or post in the comments. Let's talk, and I will be there to have a chat with you. All right. Thanks. Bye.